Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Kairos TV channel. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I just want to welcome you warmly in South Africa and wherever you are tuning in from. Thank you so much. And in the next 50 something minutes, we'll be having in our studios one of the men that I believe that the reason why we brought him is that we actually commemorate and in respect of the great work that he does in our nation. And for that reason, we thought that it is worth for us to open up a platform for the president to come and speak to South Africa and moreover share what they're carrying in regard to their modus operandi going forward. But we all understand that now South Africa needs, a kind of a force or an upgrade, I would say an emergence of leadership that should come forward and bring change in our nation. And that's what we're doing, and that's where we are right now. And I believe that we're going to have a great time talking, and moreover, wonderful time talking. So we would love you to just pour some love and open up your hearts also, welcoming the president in the next few minutes so we can hear out of his heart, moreover, the plans that are there, meaning as we're preparing to 2021 and 2024. But now, the other thing, as I said now, why I personally, had to now begin to say I'm standing with this man is because of his heart for communities, his heart for service delivery. And that is paramount. That's what we want to see, especially when we deal with leadership that is of the sons of the soil, having the heart for the people, having the relationship with the people. And that's what we need because we believe that our communities wouldn't be the same because of their savers. So now you're gonna help me, and I believe it's going to be, that smooth sailing tonight, where we can just maybe allow even the president to come on board as he, share from out of his heart, showcasing, the importance, of his movement and also the plans that are there. The 5-year plan that is there for the people, and also to make an assurance that we all understand that now South Africa does not have a bankruptcy, or could I say, we are not in any case having a vacuum in regards to leadership. So in the next few seconds, now if you can maybe help me and assist me, South Africa, to as we welcome the president himself, Honorable Mr. That is coming, Mr. Mbahare Kekana. Now I need you to work with me. Now I need you to throw some love on our commentary and show him some love, and moreover to hear the wisdom and the love, as I said, the man has. Now on my side, it has been commemoration and thanksgiving to have such a leader in our nation. So now in just 10 seconds, can we do it as we do it? Warmly welcome, on our screens, and his honorable, the president himself. Because let me tell now this story. At most presidents are honored when they lead countries, and I feel it's an amiss. It's been an amiss because he's a president in the corporate sector. In the corporate world, we have presidents, we honor them. In the churches, we've got presidents, we honor them. Any other institution that we have in our nation has a presiding officer. So it is of time that we acknowledge even the presiding officers of those that are so-called small parties. But I can tell you, they are emerging like any other party. As I said when we started these programs, that ANC, when they began with the South African National Congress, manifesto, they were a small baby. They needed your support. They needed you to hear them out. Even before they can be in Bloemfontein, they had to converge and actually believe that they can bring change, whilst they were actually now considered a minority. So now anything that it's considered minority also has the potentiality to bring functionality in our nation. And for that note, I want to welcome, as for now, give him the platform, Honorable the President himself, Mbahare Kekana of Forum for Service Delivery. President, good evening. Just welcoming you, sir, and you are welcome, and we are honored to have you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Langa. I'm happy to be part of the show today. And also to the viewers at home, I'm here. I'm Kekana. I'm the President of Forum for Service Delivery.
Thank you so much. Straight to the point. Thank you, President. I love it because I know that's who you are, and a man of few words, but I can tell you the works that are done with his bare hands, and moreover with the leadership that he is actually partnering with all over South Africa. President, I am standing here. He has to hear me calling out a couple of times because of my commemoration and my respect for the work that you do. Few times, even when we engaged, you mentioned you never went to be flamboyant or trying to bring out policies that that people say wow, but you went to the origin. You went to what people actually need, but because of how politics have been in our nation traditionally, and people might not even know what is it that they really need. And you told me that your heart is for, it's for service delivery. Moreover, your heart is for communities. So as an advocate for communities, and moreover as a champion for communities, since then, even the formation of the movement, and also the results in 2016, to date. Now, I want just to give the president the platform that South Africa need to hear your heart. What will it be, the vision or the manifesto, or what will it be, the plan of action that F4 SD is taking in order to oversee the people of the Republic?
Okay, thank you, sir. Let me start to explain the formation. How did Forum for Service Delivery came about? It was in 2014 when we decided to say there is a problem with the current menu of political parties, because of majority of them, they talk a lot about politics rather than service delivery. We then went about and made a research in about 5 provinces, and people were very clear that we don't care about paradigms, we don't care about philosophies and all that. We want service. We want service delivery. We would talk to some few gogos, few aunties. They don't even know what is communism. They don't even know what is socialism. What they know is service delivery. And we met few leaders, and we decided to say there's a need to form an organization that is service delivery centered, an organization whereby 80% inside this organization, 80% will be service delivery, 20% will be about politics. And we went and we registered with IEC and all that, but we faced resistance because of there's this norm. I don't know where does it come from, that only people who are coming from ANC can succeed if they want to start formation. And we were undermined in the process, but we knew what we wanted. What we wanted was to give people service delivery. What we wanted was to build a movement that will be community-centered, strictly community-centered. Yes, we understand we must talk about international issues and all those things, but you can't talk about international issues on an empty stomach. You can't talk about international issues whereby your neighbor, the small kid at neighbor go to school without shoes. We can't talk about international issues whereby unemployment it's rife, corruption is rife, housing backlog is rife, there's no water in some areas, and we decided to be, we rather focus on service delivery. That's why our organization was named Forum for Service Delivery. In 2016, we then contested, but before then, when we started Forum for Service Delivery, I want to put it very clear to say it was 8 of us. We met 8 of us, and we engaged a lot of people and all that. You know, something surprisingly, something very, very astonishing happened. The following day, 6 people resigned. You know, you start party, you are 8, and the following day, 6 people resign, and you don't know what to do. It's like you are lost and all that. But we forged ahead. You know, we pushed ahead. We say no, it is not about numbers. It's about the quality. You know.
Yes, sir.
Then it was then in 2016 we registered. We contested one province that is Northwest. We contested another province in Mpumalanga and Limpopo, and we did well. We did well, whereby in Northwest we managed to attain position number 4 as the top 4 political parties in the Northwest. We got about 29 councillors. Mpumalanga, we got 1 councillor. Nationally, we refuse to be, counted as others. We don't want to be counted as others. Out of top 10, Forum for Service Delivery was top 10. Our name was mentioned to say, after every election, there will be a list of parties that have performed, and our name was there. And for us, it was a very, very good boast. However, any political parties got challenged, or any movement this challenge. There will be people, we've got one vision, but different interest. The vision will be one. Some will join your organization or an organization to be famous. Some will join it for money, but few will join it to work for community. Out of 10, it's only 2 or 3 that will join it to uplift community. Some will join it to own property and all those things. There will also be a problem of infiltration. We encountered infiltration. We were infiltrated more than 4 times, but we refused. We refused. We were personally, I was taken to court more than 20 times. By the people who you are trying to develop, and they are using the very same money to take you to court. However, here we are still standing, and we are ready. And again, in 2019, Forum for Service Delivery, we contested national and provincial elections. However, we did not do well. But for us as F4SD, that was a lesson. We took it as a lesson. We learned a lot from there. We have never despair. However, again, majority of the things that were listed in our manifesto, most of the parties are talking about it now. The issue of synchronization of election of provinces, removing provinces at all, the issue of synchronization of electoral system, the issue of let's stop building houses for people. Let's give them built-in packages. We give you a voucher, you go and build a house. People, they don't care about people. Our people nowadays, they don't care because they're not involved. You give somebody a house, the person has never even, done nothing, even lift a finger of that house, lift a brick of that house. The person won't feel the ownership of it. That's why if you check other countries like Singapore, they give you a built-in voucher of 100,000. Then you go to a building material, you buy it, and you build your own house, and you are involved. You're gonna love the house. When I was working in the Department of Women Settlement one day, we were called in Soweto that there's a crisis. When we arrived there, the lady said, "No, you must come and cut the grass for me, because you gave me a free house. So who do you think must cut this grass? It's you who must then cut this grass for me." So from there, you'll then realize that people must be involved. We have created a generation or a nation or a population that it's dependent on government. We have created a monster, as leaders. However, nonetheless, as Forum for Service Delivery, we want community to be involved. We want community to build things on their own. Like if you can remember before, community members were involved in building of schools. That's why there was no school vandal. People, there were less vandalization of schools. Parents were involved in building universities, donating, donating bricks, donating zinc, donating whatever. That's why during Toy or whatever, people were respecting the infrastructure. Right nowadays, when there's Toy, the first target is the infrastructure, the very same infrastructure that the kids at the university will need. I mean, banning a library. So we need to start educating our kids. That's why as Forum for Service Delivery, we are saying we need to give people information. There's a saying that there's a little government, there's no government that will give people an information that will use to topple it up. We are saying people must have, information. Like I can see at the back of yourself there's a copy of the Constitution. When last did you see a copy of the Constitution being put in clinics, put in police station? You'll never see it because of they don't want people to get information. So as Forum for Service Delivery, we exist to give people information. We exist to give power back to our people, especially the community. I can tell you, community is in need of information. If there's no information, people will perish, and people are perishing because of the lack of information.
Lack of information. Thank you so much, Press, giving you a breathe there. Thank you so much as I welcome everybody who have come through from Vietnam, South Africa, and may you just, tell us where you're coming from. President, I am so ignited. Actually, you have rekindled our talk very well. One of the things that you touched when you said, and you are actually engaging with elderly people, which are my beloveds, and you are engaging with elderly people, taking care of people who have actually have built the roads, they've built this kind of they've built the economy, if I can put it that way. The infrastructure you see was built by them, which I believe the government today is not even. Moreover, I would say we're just preparing them to pass. Hence, you see how budgetary is being passed, where they have been given, an addition of 30 rand and so forth. So thank you so much for taking care, of our elderly people. And you said they don't want to hear communism. They don't want to hear Marxism. They don't want to hear whether how socialism is and so forth. And they don't want to hear models. They're interested in delivery, which is what we said. They're interested in what? In delivery. They want to see bread. They want to see their communities being developed, and which I believe it's what you have as your heart. And people today are starting to hear. Some of them who are starting to hear about Forum for Service Delivery. I believe that we are reaching them to say there is. There are even, I would say. If there is a movement today, tonight, as we talk, and the president is here to share with you, their experiences and what they're doing. And one of the highlights, again, which are, as I'm giving a brief there, when you touch in how the formation, and I loved you when you said, now we were this much, and the next day, 6 of them went away. You see, it happens everywhere, and it's so beautiful. And some they come, yes, you're right. Some they come, they want to live in Western Cape. Some they come, they want to have houses somewhere in Freestad, and they feel, they're coming to a parliamentary seat, and we will lose such people. But now, I thank God for a leadership of your caliber and magnitude that stood the test of time. But you stood for the vision, of Forum for Service Delivery, and you never shook. And even when the shaking comes, it's okay, because that's what we went through, and that's what we are going through. And then now, I'll give an example. For example, a leader would say they will even want us to take money from everybody. And I said,
Yes.
no, we can't take money from everybody. Now, if I say everybody, I don't want to mention that, even from facts, where tomorrow that money will eat your children, will eat your families. And I said, no, we're not going to do that. If we have to build this movement with our one rands, surely shall it be the case. And now, if in South Africa, because today people have that mentality because of what is actually have and transpired. In the case of, if you are a movement, and you are having billions, you are susceptible for winning or
Yes.
for leading or for or and so forth. And I always say that ANC didn't have money, so it doesn't matter how you degrade. And I even tell our fellow comrades, even from the INC everywhere, that don't degrade those who are coming by. If you want to know the history, we'll give the history that you never had what we are having today, the Facebook and all kind of this, I mean, ways of methodics of communication. You never had that, but you made sure that you stood on the vision that you had for a black child to be delivered and for the liberation of a black child, and moreover South Africans, but also talking Africans. But now today, the same people who went through such a strangulation, they are the same people who are criticizing us today, because now they are running the government. They are having certain funds who are coming, because some of them are in parliament, and sponsorship and donorship just come like that. And it doesn't mean that when they're in that position they can deliver. So now, when I hear you talk about it, I thought, let me just narrate it again so that South Africa can hear from the president himself to say, you can start somewhere. We're not trying to be another Nelson Mandela. And that's what I saw in you, hence I'm respecting you. You never tried to be another Sobukwe. You never tried to be another Steve Biko. You are who you are. You said to me now in a very short way, you said, now ours in terms of 100%, we take 80%. If I'm correct, you can, you say take 80% to service delivery and 20% for politics, because there's no need to talk politics and big words while people are not doing anything on the ground. We use a little that we have to help our communities. So now imagine if you can give a budget in the hands of the president of Forward, a Forum for Service Delivery. Imagine if that could be the case, where budget is given $1 billion for a certain municipality. I can tell you we're going to see some great developments, and that's what I'm initiating, and I believe it's going to be. So let me ask this question that will give you a talk on it. Now, one of the things also that you spoke to me about was that one that you actually mentioned, synchronization of the electoral system. And you spoke about it, you even went on TV about it, and I believe that people don't understand why you are saying what you say. And what you are saying, sir, if I have to put it plain to you, President, what you're saying is great. Because if you talk synchronization and also a reformation of the electoral systems, we are saying now we need a different way of how the electoral is going, so that we can give our voters an opportunity to vote for their leaders. Because at this stage, that's not the case, I believe. Then you will actually put it out there. Now, at this stage, the government is not chosen by its people. Now, maybe you can take it further, President.
Okay.
What is it with this synchronization of the electoral systems?
Okay, thank you. I'm going to start by mentioning a book that was written by Bargalia Bam, the founder of IEC, the first chairperson of IEC. The book is titled Democracy More Than Voting, or Democracy More Than Election. What Brigalia Bam said in that book, the system that we are having, it was an interim system. In 1994, we did not know what to do, so we just put something so that people can go and vote. That's why in 1994 there was no voters' roll. Everyone could pitch up and think about and going and vote. However, she mentioned the issue of constituency-based election. Again, in the year 2002, there was a report by Dr. Lambert. There was a commission that was established, a parliamentary commission that was established to look into electoral reform. One of the findings of the report by Dr. Lambert was like, we need to change the way we are voting. And that report from 2004 up until now, it was put under the carpet.
Mm.
It's all, sometimes it's shocking. There's something fundamentally wrong in our country. You just come now and you are saying this thing is new. This thing is not new. There was a commission. There was electoral, even the issue of independent candidates. We could, we cannot every time we have to go to court so that the court can assist us to amend the system. Like for instance now, as Forum for Service Delivery, we are busy preparing papers. We are going to court and ask court to also amend the system. You will then realize that our South Africans who are either visiting or studying or staying in other countries abroad, then they are allowed to vote in local national elections. However, they are not allowed to vote in local government. How bizarre is that? So we are going to court to say to court, if elections, in these coming elections, we want our brothers abroad to vote.
That's right. That's right.
Like for example, now let's say you get a scholarship for 3 months, 6 months in Jamaica, Dr. Langa, meaning you won't be allowed to vote, and after the scholarship, you are then expected to come back to the horde that you have never been expressed the leadership of that horde, the council of that horde. When there was a judgment by Ritchie versus Fraser versus Department of Home Affairs. That one of the judgment, one of the order was every South African must be allowed in any election. That's the judgment of 2009. We confronted IEC around there to say, why are you hiding this judgment? And they're running around and they're telling us logistical issues and all that. So there's completely, totally something wrong with the current system. We went to IEC. We marched to IEC to say, why should every 2 years people vote? Because we just voted now 2019. 2 years later, 2021, we must vote again. People are tired of that because we've got a high level of illiteracy in our country. People don't understand the difference between national and local. What they know is that they must vote. That's why we are experiencing what we call electoral apathy, whereby people, they're not interested. And if you can check something, the number that is growing every election, it's people who are not voting. Why don't we make voting compulsory? If it's a right, why is it not compulsory? We can, if it's a duty.
I like that one.
If it's a duty, when people are not voting, what are we doing to penalize them? You go to countries like Brazil, countries like Singapore, countries like Poland. When you don't vote, you get penalized for not, because of on the day of the elections, it's a holiday. You can't give us an excuse. Okay. When you check other voters' roll of other countries, like especially Australia, there is a space on the ballot where it says none of the above.
Yeah.
Why don't we have that? Okay. Well, why don't we have that on our voters' roll? So that we can understand. We can understand that people are not interested in the current political system. You will sometimes you will see 14 million people rocking up and ticking there, none of the above. Then we could then understand how many the issue of political awareness. IEC is no longer doing any political awareness. They don't care. 2019, we had more than 500 spoiled ballots. What are we doing with that spoiled ballot? If you were there in National Counting Center, we asked IEC to say, where are the people who are counting our votes? If a vote is a right, is why should it not be transparent? Why are you hiding a right? We cannot allow people to hide themselves somewhere and calculate our votes. Why are we still voting manually? You know, it's very painful because of countries like Namibia. You'll understand Namibia was once part of South Africa. Namibia
That's right.
relies a lot. 80% of economy of Namibia, it's interjoined with South Africa. But Namibia is voting electronically. Nigeria is voting electronically. Botswana is voting electronically. You know, why are we still, if we are saying South Africa is a superpower, why this superpower country is still voting manually? Being led by a country like Namibia? Because, you know, all these things are happening to sustain the current regime. Why a president of the country can be voted by 400 people? A president who will lead. Remember, you know, the system that we are using, people vote for party and party appoints. The MPs are not elected, they are appointed. People must understand this thing. There's no MP that is elected. You vote for a party and the party appoint. But then you ask yourself, why appointed people who are appointed, why can we give people who are appointed, give them a right to elect a president, a sitting president? When you go to Namibia, for example, I'm going to quote Namibia a lot because Namibia is a kid of South Africa. Namibia used to be called Southwest Africa. It's our kid. We you know, we gave birth to Namibia. There is a presidential ballot in Zimbabwe. There's a presidential ballot. Why don't we have a presidential ballot in South Africa? Why independent candidates don't qualify for a PR seat? If you are an independent candidate, you lose a vote with only one vote. Your votes are getting flushed. You can't do anything about them. But if it's a party is awarded a PR seat. Why don't independent councillors? I said to people who were celebrating the victory of independent candidates winning that judgment, I was not happy. And I'm still not happy about that judgment. Because I'm saying to the people, you will be contesting as an independent candidate. You lose one vote, you are out. Let's say one seat is 26 votes or 25,000. You get 24,000, you are out. And what is the law saying? You know what the law is saying? The law says all these votes that are not used must then be recalculated and be awarded to political parties. So meaning these independent candidates will work for political parties. So, you know, this I mean, I know some other leaders like my man who's saying I'm gonna be contesting for a presidential you know, independent as a president. But with the current system, no, you are wasting your time. You know, the current system is designed in such a way that it caters for ANC. The current system caters for ANC. That's why that it was just a temporary system. How can a temporary system last for 30 years? If it was for temporary, why does it last for 30 years? I've never seen anything temporary that can last for 30 years.
No, it's actually, you know, it feels lifetime. It feels lifetime, President. I hear you there. I'm not trying to give you a brief there, but you have just dropped, I mean, a couple of those important facts. And I love it when you are factual because it's important for people to understand, you know, what you have done right now. You brought in the education, meaning of certain, you know, of the electoral system itself, for people to understand where we are in terms of politics. And you brought that education, which is very much important. And I just want to second that. And you touch very important things that which or I would say subject that we can maybe extrapolate a little bit there. You spoke about meaning voting electronically, which I second it. I support it 100%. What happened to us is that we even had a company that was willing. Also, I would say even in this present time, they have a system already. They have a system already. One is in South Africa, one was in Germany, but they are here in South Africa. So they have a system already that says, no, we can actually look at it, whether it works or whether it can work, and we give it to the government can, because also they know that even through a system, rigging is possible and so forth. And hence you see they kept it. One man said something which I'm going to say online, which people must know. He said to me, because we're talking the system, he said to me, this way of doing things, we were actually granted this way by a system, this system by our forebear Nelson Mandela. So I said, okay. So now the way he was putting it is like that's how it was fashioned in order to keep it the way it is for a long time. Hence, you'll hear someone says, we are going to lead and or rule until Jesus comes. So such kind of pompous declarations that are coming out of certain political parties, forgetting that National Party was there. Remember, National Party was even more pompous. The puppet and the regime was more pompous. These ones are playing games. They were more pompous and they were more stabilized because actually we couldn't even vote them out. So they had a better platform than any party in this in this republic. So now any party that would say we're democratic and then that's how we are integrating, but they would say we'll be here forever and so forth, and it's an amiss. So you touch based on that to say this system it's only catering the current administration, and I agree on that. They also know it. So we're not talking rhetoric, appealing kind of politics here. We know it. We're talking, so we're giving our people information to say that's what it is, and but there need to be a change. So we need to vote electronically so that through blockchain, so that the genesis in terms of numbers can tell us who the president is, and how we can put it to say, how about having even now in the ballot that speaks to the president? That it is, and let it be a case of where we come up with a kind of improvisation to what we have, because as it was declared, I second that under law to say that constitutionally they said it was temporary. So meaning it is actually subject to change, and in time, if there would be a generation that will come and say, let's bring change, then it's subjected to change. So, but I see people going to court, they go to court for independent candidates, but now, and I had to say, you going to court for to open up for those, I love that one when you said, those in the diaspora, our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, who are only given an opportunity to vote, nationally, but they don't have an opportunity to vote locally. And you opening up on that and as a movement, as a forum for service delivery, President, I feel so blessed to hear such, because that is what we need to have. Because one of the things that I'm saying is that we're fighting on their platform, and then we also contesting with them on their very platform, whether it could be judicial, whether legislature, whether executive. So now we need to create those platforms. Hence, we have such a platform in terms of the media communication. So we grant the opportunity for presidents to come on board and preside over their visions and talk to South Africans. And the citizens of the Republic will therefore now have to make decisions going forward. Because I can tell you now, I'm saying, now if I hear someone telling me that the system we're using will be given by Nelson Mandela, then I'm thinking now, who was he that, are we saying that now even the men that we all could say we love, we don't care about any other thing that could be there, that are we saying that there is a marat or kind of thing that is been done to temper into the very system? Because I mean, I'll tell you, 580 were called to say in Valvater, 580 of the votes were taken away, and the reasons
Yes.
were we could not occupy all those voting stations in regards to your what is it, party agents. So we couldn't meaning, guard our votes and so forth, taking it forth. So, but I believe
Yes.
that now what you're telling me is that we're gonna see change, and we support you. At any case, if you want a hand, we are with you, supporting that one, especially of the synchronization of the electoral system. But now, let me take it for President in what you do, save us delivery. Now, when I look at the F4SD, and me, I might not know in terms of its acronym, but or abbreviation, but now when I look at Forum for Service Delivery, it's done. It's anything economic, it's done. It's like, okay, you're talking in line with this. So now you're talking service delivery, you are hands on, and now what are the things that now the movement is doing, and where so that even those that are watching can begin to now look for branches or the walls, and what are other things that you're doing in South Africa, in which province, and that which you are so that we can open up and spread and web our nation, especially with the kind of leadership that you are. What are other projects that you have put there pilotly to say for the people who can also join in and be part, and so that we can actually reform our communities?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Langa. One of the main programs that we are busy is to ensure that there's no child who go to school without a pair of shoes. That is a program that is close to our heart. As you will understand that when this kid go to school without a pair of shoes, it rob the child of the dignity. It make the mockery of our education system. So we are more worried about those kind of kids. We are more worried about our kids without parents. There's a lot of families whereby a child as young as 9 will be a parent. So we work a lot around that. We work a lot around school dropout. We are living in a country where we don't even have a policy on school dropout. Every 12 years, from grade 1 to grade 12, every 12 years, more than 5 million kids are dropping out within the cracks. They're dropping out and they disappear in the cracks. Okay, only in matric alone, you will notice that 500 kids will just disappear without no trace. So as Forum for Service Delivery, we encourage, we work a lot with those type of kids to revitalize and revive their passion or their dreams that they wanted to do.
To achieve.
We also, one of the key issues, we develop leaders. We develop young leaders because our country is in need of. We want to put sort of a succession plan because of if you can look at the ruling regime, young people, they don't have space. You can check the mayors are old people. It's only 2 or 3 young mayors. Parliament, old people. We cannot allow 400 old people to solve our current situation. We need a generational mix. We need to, in Parliament, if Parliament is 400 people, then we must at least have 50% being young people. We cannot allow a majority of the population be ruled by minority. Young people are majority. Old people are minority. So how can minority lead majority? So we Forum for Service Delivery is a platform whereby young people come within our system, and we develop them as councillors, we develop them as mayors, we develop them to be future speakers. There's not that kind of a system. When you see that the system of, when you check the system of Forum for Service Delivery, we don't have what you call youth league or whatever. We have the whole basket, whereby there's a mix. On our top 6 as Forum, we've got young people there. being part of our top 6. You will never see it anywhere. You know, 20%, sorry, 30% of leadership, we are pushing for young people. What we want as Forum for Service Delivery is that 60% of strategic positions must be led by young people. We must gradually fit young people into the system. That's what we are busy doing as Forum for Service Delivery. And again, we teach people more about elections on behalf of IEC. IEC is not doing it. IEC is not doing that. So we took upon ourselves to do a political workshops, electoral workshops, running around and teach people about the importance of them to vote. So there's a whole lot of programs. Every year we ensure that we assist kids to register. You know, you all understand that there's an initial fee that we have to pay. We assist to raise funds and making sure that some kids who are coming from previously disadvantaged background are registering and they can further their education. So that's some of the programs we are busy running about as F4SD. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President. That sounds so appetizing. Actually, you are rolling up a program which I believe that I said that most movements. The reason why even these emerging parties are actually breaking away is because you know, they want to run the nation and with some major projection and so forth, and you know, at the level of the major, I mean, over I would say economy, and that is the problem when it's not aligned, you know, with the need or the needs of the people. So now, when I'm listening to you, I can hear the manifesto is aligned with the people. It goes to the people, and moreover, taking and checking moreover of the young people of this nation, which I believe are actually partly segregated, and we need to be open about it. They are partly segregated, and I think that it's gonna be important that you know, a movement as like a forum for service delivery is coming and emerging, and since 2016 and until to date, that young people must definitely locate, and in order to form part of its programs, form part of its meaning of its timetable all over South Africa. So now, in that way, it tells me that programs are running, and you are actually now rolling them in every, because I know that you know, that's what we do. We send out by as we communicate with the people to say whatsoever that we do it as a pilot, so that we can see to it how it works. Then we go nationally. You know, like some of the plans that I will be talking about in our next interviews and so forth. But now I want to put this here because I know there are people who are watching. I know there are people who will be watching even after. I know on YouTube, on Facebook, everyone rock you. People will be watching. Some of them that say, I don't even have a home. I don't even know where to get a home. I don't even know how to get meaning in touch with the meaning with the movement. And I tell you, my heart is open when I'm talking about this. I had to not only pray about it, but when I had a call to talk to the presidents of this meaning nation that are actually out there in the communities that I'm over, I would say they are being undermined. I took that call, and for me, it was not an easy call like it could be to anybody, because of where I am, because of being a colleague of this president. So it's not easy, but for me, what made it easy was when I viewed the whole picture to say, you see, if I see F4SD progressive, I know that we are progressive. If I see, you know, other parties, CLMSA progressing, then we are progressive. So I'm that kind of a leader who's progressive and who also have a thought for others. But I know that as we are here, there are people who say we want to meet with you know, with your leaders in some provinces, in some wards and regions and so forth. And I know if you can, maybe the president can award us right now your whether any form of communication, whether website or anything or Facebook, where they can actually start communicating. Because, you know, I always say in every movement there are people who are connected to the movement. That must be there. Some they don't know, but we need them to come on board and support the movement either way, financially and otherwise, because that's one of the things that why when you have projects of such magnitude, there is a need of one of that financial backup, which we need to actually now mobilize in order to make sure that we fulfill that needs to be fulfilled. But now let me just maybe throw in one question that comes in my heart is that what are the preparations for 2021 going forward? What is it that you can put it out there in terms of now telling the South Africans that as a movement we are here and we are here to stay and we are here to serve you? What are plans in place going to 2021 local government elections? And how important is that for Forum for Service Delivery?
Yes, F4SD, we have been named as local government experts. That's what I wanted to put forward. However, I want to state it here before I can unpack some plans. There's no councillor under Forum for Service Delivery that will be elected via the back door. All the councillors of Forum for Service Delivery must and will be elected by the people, will be subjected through the needle of the people. One of the programs that we are busy doing now is to formulate election tax teams. We have visited about 3 provinces, Northwest, Free State, and Gauteng, and we are still visiting other provinces. It's very interesting, because on the 17th of March, we were joined by members of other parties who came to us and say, we want to contest under Forum. We've got members coming from DA, we've got members coming from OSA. People are coming in numbers to join us. So you need to structureize. If you want to be successful in winning elections, you must first structureize yourself. Don't wait for a date by the president before you run around. So that's what we are busy doing. Right. Before the end of April, all the provinces will be structurized. And from there, we'll be going what to help community to emerge with a councillor of their choice. Not a councillor of Forum, but a councillor of the choice of community. So we are busy workshopping people on how to run elections. We are busy educating people. How does IEC work? We are busy educating people, what is the importance of just one vote? As some instance, you can lose one vote. You can lose a vote just with one vote. That's why we are saying even those votes abroad, they're important because for me to win my vote, I need that vote. At 2011 elections, something happened whereby it was a stalemate, 100 votes. And there's no law. The law doesn't say anything about that. Do you know that if there's a stalemate, there's no clause that we can go and read? We need to rely on methods of spinning a coin. I know another word in Northwest. The candidate won it by spinning of a coin. And that is not legislated anywhere. However, we are educating our people on the importance. So we have rolled out a plan of formulating structures that will take us to elections. We have we are going up and down, encouraging people to stand under Forum for Service Delivery, especially independent candidates. We understand people must be independent candidates, but we are saying not under the current system. Let's get inside this system and undermine it. The best way of break up this system is to get inside it and undermine it from within. So
I get you.
We are busy engaging community. We are busy moving from one community to another and identifying candidates. And we can attest that come in November, elections are happening. As Forum for Service Delivery, we are saying elections must happen. Because when we went to IEC, to say, when we go to IEC to say, change your system, let's vote electronically. IEC just dismissed us. Now we are under Corona. We went to IEC in 2017. If the system was amended 2018, 2019, we won't be panicking about Corona. Check countries like USA. They elected their president in the midst of Corona, in the hardship of Corona. So we can't be saying Corona is the end and all that. No. Elections must happen. Yeah, elections must happen so that IEC can learn to advise Parliament. The role of IEC is to advise Parliament. So if there will be something of trying to postpone elections, we will go to court. That process will be interdicted.
And the question is who has the power to postpone the elections? Because as I say, that it's like we're developing leaders that are becoming even more greater than our systems or greater than our constitution. Yes. And as if they've got a right to can sit out there and declare, and knowingly that they've got all muscles, financial and otherwise, to can do this. But they are undermining, meaning the laws, that are already, meaning put on place. So then they come out, they are using their political positions, and they start, meaning being rhetorical, and I mean, like I said now, IEC, as much as they have actually said that elections are on, but you can see now they are reluctant, they are being dragged, and they are not coming out as they were supposed to, so they can give everybody an equal opportunity, especially to prepare. So now, but who is actually now eligible? Who has the eligibility to stop the election?
It's only court that can stop us, and not just any court, but constitutional court. But as for administrators and other political parties, we won't allow them to bully us because they are not ready. They want to bully us. Tina, we are ready. We are ready. We've been ready. So if they're not ready, and remember, contesting elections is a voluntary exercise. It is not a compulsory exercise. So if you think your party is not ready, then don't contest. Just be far away. You are not forced to contest.
That's right. That's
you
right.
And your members and your voters, you can just stay there. And Tina, we are moving.
So meaning anyone who says elections must be abandoned, especially in this or Bharat in this coming in November or August, because we know that August is out of the picture now, and in November could be out of the picture. Are we saying that all those that who are actually howling and bursting and talking and saying no, postpone the election, they must just sit aside? I think I love the idea. They must just sit aside and allow those who are ready to continue. I think that's a good idea. That's a good one. They must sit aside, not control they must not control the operation, how things has to be done, and allow those who are ready and those who have been ready to continue with the local government election. So for me, it's seconded president, and I think that's what we need to actually put out there so that we could voice it out to say we are ready and we want to do this. And one of the things that you said, which I've put it out there, is that F4SD are the local government experts. So I love that, because now that brings me to the last question that says, obviously, when you are coming for local government elections, preparing, and also you are building up to 2024 national government, national general elections, and now you are to now showcase in the next 3 years or so your way of service delivery. Now, what will happen if it happens there that when it happens that meaning forum for service delivery is granted moreover favor to come on board and people vote, and then you are coming in terms of the municipal. And what will happen if the municipal such as, if you maybe tell me also, is there any municipal that you're looking at, but municipal such as maybe that which you know, that which you are having a heart for, like maybe I'd say Tshwane and Johannesburg, and what would happen and what are the things that you would do around the municipal when given a chance, and to make sure that it becomes pilotry in regards to what you are advocating for as service delivery.
Forum for service delivery, even though we are contesting in the metros and all that, but our target, we contest a lot in local, your rural municipalities, whereby our people, those who are downtrodden, that's where you're gonna find us. We even though we feature in this metro, but that's not mainly our target. Our target is rural. You are Lukwata in Northwest. You are Pokwan in Northern Cape. What we are saying is that immediately we win one municipality, one thing and one thing only, will give people service delivery to the right people at the right time. Right service delivery, right people and the right time. We won't allow issue, the issue of IDP. We will make sure that IDP, it's got a time frame. That IDP doesn't have a time frame. It's just a 1 year, but it doesn't, catalyze it into months or weeks. We will make sure that that IDP is divided into weeks, is divided into months, and we give people service delivery. People must have water. It cannot happen that during apartheid, people had water. But now, post-apartheid, there's no water. That's a small thing. If we'll make sure that in our municipality, education is compulsory.
Education is compulsory. Yes, sir.
We won't allow a kid to sit around, loitering around and all that. If we have to take these kids to school by force, we will do it. Under Bophuthatswana government, kids were taken to school forcefully so. That's why crime was less. That's why crime was less. That's why unemployment was less.
Yes, sir.
So other things we must do them forcefully. This thing of giving people an absolute rights. We are where we are because of this absolute rights that we are giving our kids.
That's right. We are giving our kids.
We are saying under forum for service delivery, there's no kid that will just loiter around in our municipality.
In our municipality, I like that.
Fetching these kids, will fetch them and take them to school.
Love that. I love that, President, because now that takes us back to meaning a kind of a moral regeneration, and that you communicating in terms of where the movement is and what the movement can do, taking actually our children forth in regards to mastering, and I understand when you say forcefully, you talking about making sure that there's communication, encouragement, and a bit of that is saying people, also kids must know, because if they are just meaning moving around and so forth, and there's no I would say proper way of raising them because of the laws that we have, and we're not sitting here trying to talk against the development, but we are here talking against the negative developments that we saw developed in our nation pertaining our children, where even parents don't have the power over their children. We don't talk about the power to punish and the power to, no, we're talking about a parent who gives birth to a child having now, the right into what, meaning grooming and growing the child. So that's what we're talking about, and it's no longer there. And they have to see kids they decide whether they go to school or not. So now, in closure,
Yeah.
I just want to actually now applaud you for that, because for me it shows that there is more over of a leadership. Now you've got a leadership coming, the father, a president who says no. We are going to make sure that they go to school. It's like we're going to use our vehicles and take them to school and make sure. I mean, today kids are just passing us on the streets, and it's normal. So if that wouldn't be normal, I believe that it would be meaning one of the forces that you will be implementing in our nation. So, President, I'm so delightful. I know that even those that have come on board and those that shall watch him in the next minute or so, even after we have concluded, they will also be moved by your talk. And I want to say, and all the best for all your endeavors. President Mbahare Kekana. Now, I want to say all your endeavors. I want to declare the blessing, and may you be blessed in your presiding and being a visionary. And the eight of you began such a great work, and may also you be blessed also in regards to the economics, taking our nation forward. South Africa needs a leader like you, and we are blessed to have you, sir. Continue doing a great work. Continue championing for community service delivery. Continue advocating for the poor, advocating even against corruption. Continue in the municipal or in any level of our nation, and moreover to embrace the democracy that they are talking about in a special way. So thank you, President. I am so honored to have had you in the studios, and with your leadership, and to say to all of them, thank them for granting an opportunity to come on board with, in the midst of all your busy schedules, and also what you're doing in organizing in regards to electioneering for 2021 local government election. Sir, I want to say this, Honorable President Mbahare Kekana, you are a blessing to this nation, and so we're looking forward for 2021 elections, and we're looking forward meeting with you in all communities, and in whatsoever you do, we're holding hands with you in order to champion what needs to be championed in our nation. Thank you so much, President. And what could be your last words? Maybe if you can say one or two to the people of South Africa.
Our last word is very clear. As Forum for Service Delivery, we are saying we are an organization for you. Here is an organization that cares for you. Here is an organization that says Tsamalero hamba nathi, so that we can go and fetch those services that you are in need of. So come November, come October, whenever elections are, vote for Forum for Service Delivery, vote for your organization. We love you, and stay blessed.
Thank you so much, President. That is, you have heard it, South Africa, you have heard it for yourselves. The man was in the studio himself, the president of Forum for Service Delivery. And I am so delightful and so thankful and so blessed. President, I will let you go in order to be kept on other endeavors, and may God bless you, and to meet again. And I believe it's not the last time that you come here.
Yes.
This will be a usual platform where you want to share with the nation, and the nation, I believe they're delightful to hear that we are not in any bankruptcy, neither are we in any vacuum in the leadership. So continue the good work, and we are here to hold hands with you going forward. And thank you so much for coming through, sir. And all honor and salutations are in order. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you to all our viewers and everybody who have come through and that have come through to support this broadcast. Thank you so much for coming through. And it is another Thursday that we're having, and in the midst of celebration and a commemoration. And I believe that in the next, in 3 to 4 days, some to them it's a holiday, to some it is moreover the commemoration of he who was actually now born king. And now for that reason, we know that now we are actually now, meaning converging and also in celebration of the resurrection of our Lord, and moreover the Son of God, and who he He actually stood out and maybe died for the sins of the people. And as it has been said in the Word of God, it says, "Now he who you know sinned became sin, that me and you can be saved." And I want to thank God for you, and I want you to know that we love you. We love you, and I want to tell you, without love, ministry, business, government, politics, in the absence of love, it's chaos, and moreover, it's competition. And may we exude much love and showcase love, and let's hold hands together as we are taking not only South Africa, but Africa and the communities of the world forth. And I want to thank you to forge this and for the night. Have a beautiful night until we meet again. We might not know who can be here. You don't know the studio, but I can tell you we are going to have a leader. Tune in next week, Thursday, 7 p.m., same time, same place. And may God bless you, and may God bless the forum for service delivery as the Lord is blessing us, even as the movement. And may God bless South Africa, and may God bless you in your homes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shalom.